September 7th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. Now, Jason, since you're the one that hasn't played this before, I'm going to have you at least try to do some of the trial bits.
All right.
So take a look at the evidence real quick. Notice the important parts of this. The time she died, it was a single hit of blunt force, and she died instantly.
All right.
This has the conversation between the two of them.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's it is that the clock's empty with stuff inside of it, and it was at 9 o'clock.
All right.
The glass shards from the light. The Thinker statue that's a clock. That was made by Larry. It was also the murder weapon. The wiretap, and the receipt that says Maya's name on it.
All right.
Anything else you need? Wait, what's this one?
Oh shit!
At some point, it actually is used in court, but only once. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. Better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin, then. If I may call my first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls this chief officer of the scene, Detective Dick. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick, sir. I'm the detective in charge of the homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. Pay attention, Jason. The body was found by this window. And the cause of death? A loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker, found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. That's sexist. Gumshoe. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Now, detective. Yes, sir? You immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Dick has hard evidence.
No.
As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey. Why? She had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Ms. Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in his testimony. Whoosh. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in the witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. All right, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. All right, so Jason, there's one more important part to this beyond just showing evidence. You can press the witness, which is basically you ask them a question based on whatever dialogue's on screen. So if you want me to press at a certain point, let me know. We're going to go through this, though. So he says, as soon as the call came in, he rushed to the scene. Do you want to press?
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
There were two people there already. Do you want to ask a question about that? I mean, he says it later anyway, but, press on every detail if you need to.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Detective Gumshoe, how long would you say it took between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime? Right. I'd say it was about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. A motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. Indeed. So, tell us who the 2 people you found on the scene were. Yes, sir. Oh, I already read this. Yeah, just saying the defendant and the lawyer. Do you want to
Makes
press,
sense.
or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
Yeah, press.
Press it? Alright.
Press.
Why's that? What's your reason? Oh, okay. That's it.
Oh, what?
Alright.
Okay.
Do you want to press it?
Yeah.
Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough, Detective Dick. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing does have its advantages. Yes. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Well, Detective, let's hear your testimony again. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written in a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How you like that? That's my hard evidence.
Oh, it's hard.
Dick, stop talking about how you're hard.
Ah.
Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor, why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know. I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Now, before we start this, take a look through the evidence again. Remember what do you remember generally what he said? We'll go
Foremost
through
one,
it.
yeah?
Yeah. So take a look at the autopsy, you know. The cell phone conversation, you know what's in there.
Yeah.
The glass, the thinker, the wiretap, the receipt, and the floor plans. If you want to take a look again, this is what it looks like. The corpse was right where the window is, where the light starts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
Alright, I gotcha.
Oh, also, just so you have reference, the top right is where the door is.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so where do you want me to press? Should I press this?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you find any evidence? Now, don't jump the gun on me, pal. Just listen, I'm getting to the good part. I got a bad feeling about this. A memo written next to the victim. Do we press this? Do we present anything? Do we...
Yeah, we have the paper, so...
I mean, yeah, it's not a contradiction.
Yes, it's all fine, yeah.
Okay.
Go.
On it, the word Maya was clearly written in blood. It's true.
Yeah?
It's there.
It's there?
Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's, which you can't deny that as the lab test
yeah,
results.
fair.
Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. I didn't say it in here, but it is true because it's part of the lab test.
Yeah, makes sense.
Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. You want to present anything? You look through the evidence again.
Aha! Death was instantaneous.
Detective Gumshoe, there is one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, that she was accusing the defendant. Maya Fey? That's really what you're saying. What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it! Who else could have? Nope. You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately! But no butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order! Defense has a point! Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write down anything. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain the autopsy report? When? Do you remember when?
The day of.
The day of?
Isn't it the day of?
You remember the day of we were arrested?
After?
Oh, right. Whoops. Day after.
Okay. It was the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being... that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there was a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see! Damn you, Edgeworth! I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? Do I call out Edgeworth, call out the detective, or call out myself?
Uh-oh.
Who do I call out? Who fucked up here, though? Who fucked up?
Who fucked up?
Who fucked up? Edgeworth didn't fuck up.
Edgeworth was fine.
Did I fuck up, or did the detective fuck up? Because the detective gave it to me. But I'm the one to call that out. So is it me or the detective?
Go for Dick.
Do I want to make fun of Dick?
Dick's a dick. You have to go for Dick.
Detective Gumshoe, you're a sham. How could you give me a faulty report? Oh, I thought... Detective Gumshoe? Oh. I'm disappointed in you handing him the wrong report like that. I'm sorry, sir. You're at fault, Detective. This isn't going to look good in your evaluation next month. By the way, the evaluation is what determines his pay.
Oh.
What? But... Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Now it's changed from died from a blunt object, may have lived for a few minutes.
Alright.
Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't looking good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl we saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please?
April May! At your service!
Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking.
Aww, yes, Your Honor.
This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred?
Gee, I was like in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch.
And this hotel is directly across from Fay & Co. law offices?
That's right, big boy.
Please testify to the court about what you saw.
It was like 9 o'clock at night. I looked out the window, you know? And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was that mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. And the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. My little bitsy witsy.
Well, Your Honor, I see it's a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any. Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults and perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness?
Yeah.
No thanks.
Nah, you know.
I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, Jason. Take a look at the evidence again.
Let me see the. Yep, let me see.
Yeah, this is changed autopsy report. It just changed it from instantaneous death to may have lived a few minutes after being hit. It's still a blunt object. Same time.
Same time.
Yeah, same time on that. It doesn't say the time, but it's the same time.
Yeah. And was it 9 in the morning?
It was 9 at night.
Oh, well, it wasn't. Okay.
It was 9 at night.
All right. All right.
Yeah. It was dark outside when it happened.
Dark.
So the cell phone, you know, thinker inside of it's empty with evidence in it, and the call was at 9 o'clock. Glass shards of the light stand, the thinker's the clock made by Larry.
Yeah.
Wiretap, which we don't know what that is for yet. The receipt with the blood written on it, and the floor plans. Do you need to see the floor plans again? Or
Nah.
Okay.
Not yet.
So she says it was 9 o'clock at night, and she looked out the window. Do you want to press?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Why did you do that?
Huh? Why? Like, why what?
Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something?
Oh, well, gee.
What? That's it? She can't get out of this question that easily.
I sort of, you know. I had a feeling.
Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press a little harder on this one.
Always press harder.
Jason, this is a game where you bully people in court. So
Yes.
you're gonna have fun. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out the window at that time of night.
Ooh.
Mr. Wright, I will not have your badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Yeah, stop him! The poor girl! Order! Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl?
Bullshit.
What about poor me? You looked out the window. What did you see next? Yep, and she saw the woman being attacked. Do we press? Do we, what do we do here? Do we continue? I mean, she's not wrong. The woman with long hair.
I mean, she's right.
The
She's
woman
right.
with
Yeah,
long hair was
that's
being
fine.
attacked. The one attacking was that mousy girl sitting over there. Do we want to
Press.
present anything? Press? How do you know she was the defendant?
Oh, well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay?
There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. Do I question? Do I say he's
Question,
right?
of course.
Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks.
What?
Miss May, I'm willing to bet that she saw nothing or she was lying.
Lying.
Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless. About this, I mean.
Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Look at her. She's a freak. No one wears clothes like that on a daily basis, except for her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus.
But
Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did the Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May?
What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling details were necessary, darling.
Miss May, the court would like to remind you, please, to omit nothing from your testimony.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise.
Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her.
I did see everything. I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock. The kind of statue-y clock? The thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you?
it's a bit too accurate.
I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Do you want to press? She said she saw
No.
everything. Okay.
That makes sense.
The victim dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Do you want to press? Do you want to present? Do you want
Press.
To... Okay. Is that right as in you're right? You looked from the hotel.
Which hand do I hold my knife in again?
That's so creepy.
Right! It was my right hand, right?
Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue. The girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. Do you want to press?
Press.
Okay. How convenient for you to remember her hippie clothes.
That's what she was wearing. Oh, and her hair was all done up like a bun.
What happened then? She hit her with the
She
weapon.
hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. My
You want
bad.
to present anything? You want to press?
I
Nah, makes sense.
Okay.
I realize I don't gotta say it again.
The clock. It's a kind of statue-y clock. The thinker, I think. Do you want to present anything? You want to press her?
Shh.
Think about it. Think about the thinker.
Yeah, it's very hard to see the clock.
You're very hard to see that it's a clock, right?
Yeah, present then.
Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing.
Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, naughty Mr. Lawyer?
You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock, too. He was found guilty of murder. Order! Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock?
Ooh,
The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, yes, of course. You'll withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. But questions are all I have, Your Honor! And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Whew, that was a close one. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over.
huh? What? So, what happens now?
What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock?
What? That's... because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time.
So you've been to the law offices of Faye & Co.
No! Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room.
The law offices of Faye & Co. where the murder took place is very close to the hotel. She could have easily heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. Can't give up now? Not satisfied because?
It couldn't have run.
Your Honor, members of the court. It's inconceivable the clock in question rang because...
It's empty.
Yep, you remembered. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look right now. Oh! See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have run. Therefore, this witness is a big, fat liar!
Fat?
Well, Miss May? Tisk, tisk. Huh? Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow he knew! I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clockwork is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there's no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that's exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, impossible, of course. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves the clockwork was removed is...
The phone call.
Yep, you got it. Right there. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone.
Oh, you have a girly phone.
Wait. This isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order! The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation.
So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take out the clockwork out, sorry.
September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock?
Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot.
So the witness had seen it before, that would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Does he? Would you like to take a look at the evidence real quick before you make a choice, Jason? Do you want to look at the...
I'm gonna be honest,
Here, take a look.
Look at something real quick.
The autopsy report. The cell phone. Do you want to see the cell phone conversation just in case?
Oh, actually, what's paying attention?
Oh, so... he's... April May said that she saw the clock in the store, and that's how she knew that it was a clock.
Alright.
And the judge is asking us if we have any objections to it.
Bullshit.
Why?
It's made by Larry Butts.
Yep. The witness claims she had seen it before. but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce the evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock before. Hey, dumbass. It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever.
What?
A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world, and the one that isn't here is in police custody.
Impossible! Everything is sold in stores.
Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuses aren't on sale today?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, she mad. Also, jiggle physics. Oh, she mad.
What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it! Die!
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Oh, silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did.
Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh, God. Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because she held it or she heard about it?
Held it. I mean,
Take a look at the evidence real quick, just to make sure. The autopsy report, you know, it was blunt objects, lived for a few minutes and died. Conversation between the chief and Maya, which is, you know, just saying.
Right, yep.
This is the glass shards, the thinker itself. There's no like handprints on it or anything. The wiretap, which we still don't know what that does. The receipt written in blood, and the floor plans.
Okay, I get it now.
Did she hold it? She heard it?
She heard about it.
Okay. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There's no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock.
The wiretap.
Have a look at this.
What?
I found this on Miss May's room.
On.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim Mia's Faye's phone, were you not? Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. The proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is... The attorney's badge. The attorney's badge. What's the proof that she said it on the phone?
The picture. What's the picture of?
And that is the floor plan.
The floor plan.
That's the floor plan.
The receipt. The statue.
Shut up. What's the proof? Would you like to see the floor plans or look at the phone call again?
Get the phone call. Let's see if that.
Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while? Well, actually, it's something I want you to hold on to me. Again? What is it this time? It's a clock. It made to look like the statue of the thinker, and it tells you the time. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clock out. Sorry, I put some papers inside instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Leave that one up to your imagination. See you tonight at 9. So we're trying to prove that the victim said on the phone that the weapon is a clock.
I mean, the phone call has nothing about it.
Let's read the phone call again.
Wait, are you sure?
It's a clock!
Oh. Shit.
It's a clock!
It's a clock, yeah, whoops.
I misread
the fucking
That's fine.
thing.
That's fine. This is the first case that you're actually participating in, so I'm going to give you leeway for it. I presented the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim.
Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again? What is it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time.
Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the Thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May!
Shut up, all of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer!
I like the insult.
It's no fair! All of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it?
That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now deal the final blow. Did she kill? Okay.
She did not kill.
Yeah. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question.
Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity-tapping or irrelevant?
Gah! She's saying exactly what Ezra wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? Ha! I'd like to see her pull that off.
Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you?
Damn, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And of course, I can, and will.
You can't be serious. No way!
Way, I say, way! Oh, and I assure you I was serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so, the killing happened at around 9 o'clock at night? Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service?
Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts and then you have regular cold coffee.
Iced coffee?
Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy.
Ergo, the witness was not at the scene on the murder of at the time of the murder. So where does this leave us? It's my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on this current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they're going to just let her walk away? There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something.
Call the bellboy.
Defense would like to call the hotel bellboys a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
I think you've sunken quite low enough already.
I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent. And thereby you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition. What? I'd better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? What do I do?
I mean, you have to accept.
Alright, I've got nothing to lose. Except for, well, everything. Understood, I accept your condition. Fool. You fell right into my trap card. Uh-oh. Wait! Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Jason, that's you.
Oh, right, it's me. Yes, sir. I see your summons in the room, so I'm happy to be of service. He brought fucking tea set with him?
Yeah, the tea set looks rather heavy. So without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony.
Very good, sir. I am the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Miss May.
Miss May, very important distinction.
She asked for an iced coffee to be brought her at 9 o'clock on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself.
I see the defense may begin its cross-examination. Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Maya will be finished. So, he's the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel. In business for 4 generations. Do you want to press or present anything?
That doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I believe I received a call at 8 o'clock in the evening from our guest. Do you want to press? Present?
Press.
Okay. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone?
I believe so.
How can you be so certain?
I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remember quite well, sir.
He's talking about her baths. Yes, what then? She asked for an iced coffee to be brought on her at 9 on the dot. Press, present? Press, okay. 9 o'clock on the dot, you say?
Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on TV and wished to drink after that. She finished her.
9. The time of the murder. He brought it to her exactly on time, on the dot. Do you want to press, present?
Press?
Precisely 9 o'clock then?
Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m.
How can you be so sure?
Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy. I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir.
Why would she be so particular about the time? I deliver the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. Press? Present?
Makes sense.
Should we press? Should we keep going?
Press. Why not?
You're sure it was Miss April May herself?
Absolutely, sir.
Absolutely?
Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It is an endearing memory of mine.
How come you're so very certain?
Well, when I brought the room for her, sir, the guest, favored me with a, embarrasser, sir.
Embracer.
Embracer, sir.
Embracer? Is that French for embrace?
It's French for kiss, sir. But not a French kiss, sir. Not, more like of a peck on the cheek.
What? Why would she have done that?
I believe, sir. I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prime demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never, ever forget, sir.
Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think her Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. It's no good. There's nothing there. Is that it? Tisk tisk. Finally, you understand. This bellboy had absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand. I can't let this happen, can I?
Protest, you have to?
Yep. Wait! Please, wait! Yes, does the defense have something to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, Mr. Wright. I'll give you one more question. That's all. Okay. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? I can tell you the last one isn't relevant at all. But do we ask about when she got there or when they were conversing? Because which would be more relevant towards the case?
Of course, room service.
Okay.
That.
Tell me again about room service.
Again, sir. At exactly 9, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest had requested the iced coffee. $8 was charged, as I recall.
$18. I see.
No.
$18? Doesn't that seem a bit expensive?
Yes, well, iced coffee for 2, you know. And we don't skip on the ice, sir.
What did he say? What did you just say?
Rather quite.
Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? I object. That was objectionable. Nope, get fucked. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question.
Yes, I see.
Why did you not mention this in your testimony?
Oh, well, sir, you didn't ask.
Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're not normally supposed to mention. Or you're normally supposed to mention, sorry.
Yes, quite, indeed. It was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edward, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir.
You fool! I've done it. I've won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room.
That's right, sir.
Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple, it was. Well, we know
The
it
man
wasn't...
with...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man who checked in with Miss May. Ugh. Your Honor, as it has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, and yet Miss May herself had an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man who was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like that if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Ugh. Upstart. Amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough! The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and the defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. September 7th, 2:24 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Mr. Wright! You were amazing in there!
Really?
I think I might be your newest fan.
Oh, I was just doing my job, you know?
Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too.
Huh?
That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips. It sent shivers up my spine.
If you say so.
So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now?
Well, no, I don't think so. Not yet.
Oh, I see.
But I got a great lead in today's trial.
A lead?
That man with Miss Fay, or with May. Ugh. He's the key.
Oh, I get it. What happens to Miss May after that anyway?
I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning the her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I might have to go down there later to see her. Anyway, this case is far from closed.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna find out more about this man.
Do you think he was the one who...
Maybe so.
Sis,
Don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow, I promise.
I'm counting on you.
I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow, but now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies anyway. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. The victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me at all, but anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free.
To be continued.
Get ready for a shock!